My ex and I split up 3 years ago. She was cheating, but I don't care about the relationship at this point. The pending lawsuit is not about her or him, but about their actions. My ex and I have a 13-month-old son with whom we split time. He is a great kid whose interests have shifted dramatically over the years, as I imagine most children and teenagers do. Legos were one of my son's favorite toys at one point. He used to play them all the time. And I think they are a great toy for a variety of reasons. I used to enjoy playing them with him, and I still have a collection of unopened boxes that I keep. My ex and I divorced, and she apparently married someone who liked Legos more. From what I have heard, he enjoys making things and putting them together. I don't mind, it seems cool. He does something that I find extremely strange. He uses crazy glue to keep the sets from breaking or losing pieces. It appears strange to me. The problem is that I was out of town for 3 days last week for medical reasons, and my son wanted to get his PlayStation 4 so he could play it at his mother's house. This is not unusual, and he has a key, so he informed me that he would be stopping by for it. When I saw him on the entry camera, I told him to have fun. My wife's husband was with him, which was not acceptable. So I told him over the speaker not to come in and to wait on the porch. He flinched but still walked in. I texted my ex to tell her to call him and inform him that he is 1 minute away from a police call. He left my house with a bag, which I didn't notice because my son had his own games. My son texted me later that evening saying that while he didn't realize it at the time, my wife's husband had taken some of my sets. These are all vintage sets, 2 of which are quite valuable. When I arrived home, I double-checked the missing sets and called my ex. She had no idea, but he admitted taking them so his son could complete his collection. My son doesn't even like Legos anymore and told his mother she wouldn't steal from me. My wife asked how much it would cost to replace them, and the answer was that it would cost more than their savings. Actually, it would require the down payment plus more. I informed them that if they did not pay within 2 weeks, I would sue and file charges. The price of the sets makes it illegal. My ex and her husband are saving for a house to give my son more space when he visits, but those sets were supposed to help pay for his education or a home of his own someday. I filed the police report, spoke with a lawyer, we were moving forward with the lawsuit. Everyone thinks I am a joke because they are just toys, but I don't get it, they are truly valuable. Guys, I'm not wealthy, I needed those to help with my son's future, but taking this money means denying my son certain things at his mother's house. I have been asked to include these details. More than half of the sets have been opened and one has been glued together. The damage had already been done. The following items were stolen: milk truck from King's Castle carousel made out of Legos, and the glued one was a snowspeeder from Star Wars. Some of these are part of a larger collection. So if you lose one of the five, you lose the value of one produced plus the value of the entire set. I enjoy buying these sets and do not intend to sell them all, but I want my son be able to attend college without worrying about debt. So I want to sell the ones I can to help. I never had the intelligence to pursue higher education, but my son is not me and I love him and want him to succeed. I called the local state police at 4 p.m. and we met at the station. I gave them everything I had and delivered my statement. My son will be staying with me starting tonight. So when I picked him up, I took him to GameStop and called his mother. I told her I had filed charges and asked the cop to call me when everything was finished so he could turn himself in. I wanted to treat people better than he did. I will save her reaction for a proper update. When we got home, I told my son what I did and why. My son said I did the right thing because he didn't want his stepfather to think it was okay to do it again. And if he didn't go to jail, he had rather be away from him, so it doesn't seem strange. I had few requests for an update and I did promise to update the situation once it was resolved. And as far as I can tell, the headache is mostly over. I don't feel whole, but I'm not angry about it because I believe the consequences are something to be respected. I know Leos are toys, but I enjoy the hunt, so it's worthwhile to me. As previously stated, I decided to go to the police station armed with a video, my statement, text from my ex, and emails. I told the cops I wanted this investigated because he had broken into my house despite being told not to and stolen valuables. They took everything I had to offer. And my ex's boyfriend was arrested yesterday for a variety of violation laws. Among other things, he was charged with grand larceny and breaking and entering. My ex is furious at both me and him, but she bailed him out, so I'm guessing she is not too upset with him. Ex's boyfriend has called several times and appeared once. He abandoned the used seats on my porch, and I'm not sure what he thinks that accomplishes at this point. They are not worthless, but they are worth less than half as much. When I told my lawyer about it, she was astounded, and I sent my ex an email telling her and him to stay away from me and my house. And that I only wanted to hear from her if it was about our child. This was his first offense, so I don't expect him to go to jail, but my lawyer said it was possible to give the number of crimes and when how they occurred. Doing it during the day is apparently worse, and he did it in front of my child, which doesn't help him. To be honest, I expect a leg, the probation with all of you, but I'm no legal expert. I spoke with lawyer about the laws on Tuesday of this week, and I'm facing a difficult road ahead of me. The stolen items are valued at what they sell for at auction, with the local DG deciding which auctions are reputable. So that could go either way. Additionally, the fact that my wife's boyfriend broke my sets was irrelevant. The lawyer compared it to stealing one baseball card from an entire set and burning it. Even if you can't get that one card again, you are only owed the value of that one card. The fact that he returned them is an admission of guilt, she says, and while we could certainly reclaim the amount of money an unopened set for each would be worth, it doesn't make the situation any better in my opinion. I know a lot of you thought $10,000 to $20,000 was not nearly enough for a down payment on your house. But in my neck of the woods, it's plenty, and my lawyer recommended we pursue a civil suit, and I agreed. With that and the legal charges, I believe that is sufficient. I will have enough money in savings and Leo stock to pay for his 4 years at a good public school. I wish I could do more, but you can't please everyone. My son has been staying with me full time because he feels awkward at his mother's, and he is pretty upset at his mother about the whole thing. But I'm doing the best I can given the circumstances. He is asked to stay here full time, which I supported and have informed his mother of. I told her we could go through the courts or keep it simple, and I believe she prefers the latter. I have not given much thought to child support, but I don't think asking for a small amount is a bad idea. I don't want to hurt my ex, but our child comes first. In my opinion, seriously? When did this grown man, who knew he was not supposed to be in the house, decided that taking obviously unopened and collectible Lego sets and then gluing them together was not going to work?